All right, Mark Suppy says, is it a good idea to buy social signals from a place like SEO Butler and point these to the branded syndication ring, post URLs for a boost, or are they better spent directly to the money site? It's a good question. I don't know. I haven't bought social signals in probably 3 or 4 years. I just stopped doing it because I did a test 3 or 4 years ago, testing social signals directly to the properties that I was trying to rank. And I didn't see any, like, purchased social signals. If they were organic social signals, those tend to have an effect. But if they're just spammed social signals, I didn't see any at all movement, period, from my test about 3 or 4 years ago. And I tested, I think, 5 or 6 different social signal services. SEO Butler, I can't remember if that was, it's not SEO Butler anymore, but I can't remember if that was one of them or not. It might have been, there was a service that I saw a little bit of movement from that was tiered social signals, which would be like, you'd share the money page or the service would share the money page to some social profiles. And then there would be activity on that shared post from that social profile, if that makes sense. So in other words, like one of the, Facebook share profiles, it would share the target URL, what I was trying to promote. And then there would be comments, likes, and shares of that Facebook post, if that makes sense. That had a little bit of an effect. And that was, again, 3 or 4 years ago. It's probably 4 years ago now. But that was the only one that had any effect on SEO from my test, again, several years ago. Things may have changed, but I can't imagine that spam social signals got any more powerful. In fact, it's logical that it's more, it's tiered social signals and having relevancy, and all of that, I think would be more important, which is, again, why I just don't buy fake social signals anymore. So I can't tell you whether that would help or not, because I just don't know. I don't think that it would, but I haven't tested it. What do you think, Marco?
I think we talked about this last week. So I suggest that you go. Now listen, it's not that I don't want to answer, and I'm going to give you a further answer, but go back and watch our answer from last week, because we really went into detail on this. What I am going to tell you is you're better off like buying the social signals from the social media that you're trying to target. And you can send people to other places, or you can send them to your website, wherever it is that you want to send these people. And now what you're doing is you're sending someone that might, and if you've done a really good job of targeting this person and reaching out and putting the ad in front of the person that's looking for it, you're likely to get a conversion. Whereas if you're just buying some odd social signals from whomever, they're not really interested in your stuff. They're not interested in buying. And that conversion is not likely to happen. I'm always going to go with how I'm likelier to get a conversion. So if I can pay Facebook for ads, Hernan does a great job. If I can pay Instagram, if I can pay whomever, and it doesn't take a lot. I'm telling you, you said at the beginning, a $200 a month budget. It might sound like less, $2,400 a year. But within a couple of months, it should run itself. The ads should run themselves, and you should make enough money from that where you can start investing more money into your ads if you're going to use them right for social signals, for branding, and however else it is that you want to use them. But also because these people will convert. At the end of the day, these are people who are interested enough in your ad to click on it to see what it is that you're trying to sell or whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah, and just to kind of expand on that briefly is think about relevancy, right? When you're buying spam social signals, they're just, even if the profiles have been built up to look real and things like that, if those profiles that are being used to produce or provide those social signals, chances are there is a huge wide range of, topics that profile is interested in, right? That has an affinity for, right? Does that make sense? So it's going to be very, very broad. And I guess that's okay. But my point is, if you can buy social signals from real people, from true relevant audiences, right? So people that have a genuine interest. How do you do that? Well, you can do it from Facebook. You can do it in Google now, which you can go in and it's called intent-based or interest-based targeting, right? So you can go in and you can buy traffic from, I do Google ads. I don't do any Facebook ads. I just don't. So I'm going to speak about this from the Google ad standpoint. You can go into Google Ads and from YouTube or from the display network, whatever, you can go in and buy in-market audiences or life event audiences, or you can create your own audiences, right? So interest-based targeting. So you can go in and it's called a custom audience, and you can do that through keywords and or URLs of sites that somebody that would be interested in your product or service that you're trying to promote would likely be visiting. And so Google will create your own custom audience based upon the intent criteria or the interest criteria that you set. So now if you're buying traffic signals from a real relevant audience that has a true or genuine interest in the product and or service that you're trying to promote, then now you're getting that activity, relevance, trust, and authority signals, right? Art that we always talk about, directly to your properties. And then if they decide to engage by liking, sharing, whatever, commenting, then now you've got an even heavier weighted signal than just buying spam social signals from general profiles out there that, you know, have no true affinity or interest in any one thing. If that makes sense. It's a heavier weighted signal is my point. So again, I don't know. I haven't tested any spam social signals in years. I just stopped using them years ago because I didn't see any benefit in them. So I just don't know if anything has changed. I can't imagine that they've gotten any stronger though. So
I mean, there is some benefit. There is to like jumpstart, but if it's not replaced by real signals, it just dies. Yeah. That's what I've seen. I don't know. Some people, I don't know. I see them in Facebook. Sometimes they say that they have success with spamming all of these things. I see it. I see the kickstart, and then I see it die up. Because you guys know, I'll test in Fiverr. I'll go and buy some. I'll go and see. Someone say, okay, Pinterest, good enough for AdSense. I'll go check it out. Pinterest, good, or this traffic or that traffic, good enough for this, and I'll go test it out. Yeah. But no. It never has the power or the effect or the ability to make you money like real ads, real people interested in whatever it is that you're doing.